It's going rotten, you feel forgotten. Your life's depressing, dismal and dank. You need a fun guy, that number one guy. Hooray, it's Friday with Frank. It's like a roller coaster, Disneyland and Barnum and Bailey, especially when he is singing and playing the ukulele. At last it's Friday, fantastic Friday. And even though the weeks stank, hooray, it's Friday with Frank.
Hi everybody, Frank here. It's Friday, I'm Frank. Put two and two together and what have you got? If you don't have 2 + 2 = Friday with Frank, you need to check your math. Although I don't know why I should say 1 + 1 because I say it's Friday, it's Frank, put 1 and 1 together. But this tradition has it that we say 2 + 2, Friday with Frank and all that. But let's move because we've got a lot to talk about today. Actually, we don't. It's always a happy day, a happy weekend today for so many of my friends when I don't prepare a show. A lot of people like it that way, sort of to wing it and see what happens. Sort of like that this week. The reason being, we've got a lot of new friends that we need to welcome aboard. And doing that is going to be a little difficult. I can't name them all because, as you know, they've changed the Facebook interface, and I can't find where my new friends are. So welcome, new friends, even though I don't know who you are. Just can't remember, but you're good friends. And here, all friends are equal, including a new Facebook friend that I am intrigued to have as a member, possible member of the Friday with Frank family. My grandson, Nicholas Kaczynski, watched Friday with Frank last week. I think Mom was away for the weekend and Dad was home taking care of Nicholas and his brother Will. And Nicholas from the first grade and his brother, or at least Nicholas, watched Friday with Frank. It's very intriguing, isn't it? So because we have so many new people here coming into Friday with Frank, I want to show you, just bring you up to date so that you know, and that your parents, if your parents have to do with what you watch, so that everybody will know what Friday with Frank is really all about. It started last year with a segment that was called Name That Tune. That's really, big things start from big oaks, from little seeds come. That's all it was. That I had this tune was running through my mind, so I went on it turned out, it turned out to be the theme song from some movie. I don't remember what it was. But from there, and just so that you knew, so that you can decide, or your parents can decide, if Friday with Frank is the kind of thing that you want to be. One of our favorite segments now is You Survived the Death Panel. The reason that we get involved in that one is because I have to kill off my friends sometimes. I mean, I'm not really killing them, but, just letting them go. We call it defriending. That has to be done sometimes. Another one of our very favorite segments here on Friday with Frank is Poor Me. That's a segment where I get very negative about life. I play the sympathy card, the I have suffered sympathy card, when I need to talk about how bad, rotten things are going. Another beloved segment we don't do too much is Mrs. Comfort, the story of my Spanish teacher from North Shore High School who reamed me out and died by choking on a chicken bone eventually. Another important segment is, we call this one When Friends Let You Down, because friends do that. This segment is particularly about Lee Hudson, sort of my arch enemy, and I try not to bring it up because it brings me down, and I get poor me. I get really sad, but it's only when it's relevant I bring up some of your old friends are just draggy, downy kind of people like that. Another important segment that we have now and then here on Friday, Frank, is True Confessions. And that's not really about generally not about anything but specific, but it's just when I talk about the seamier side of my life, my failings, the darker side of being Frank, etc. And because I have so many friends, and they come from various parts of my life. Time is running. We're getting ready to go. Because I have friends from so many facets of my life. Another one is When Worlds Collide, because we have friends from Franconia College, from the United States Navy, from Ithaca College, from Fredericksburg, Virginia, and family friends. And we're all just one big family. Happy, proud, it's time for one big happy family, and it's time to go. Roll. There once was a man from Nantucket, whose teeth was as long he could forget. He said with a grin, and people got a grin, and both said, it's Friday with Frank.
It's going rotten, you feel forgotten. Your life's depressing, dismal and dank. You need a fun guy, that number one guy. Hooray, it's Friday with Frank. It's like a roller coaster, Disneyland and Barnum and Bailey, especially when he is singing and playing the ukulele. At last it's Friday, fantastic Friday. And even though the weeks stank, hooray, it's Friday with Frank. It's going rotten, you feel forgotten. Your life's depressing, dismal and dank. You need a fun